G'day guys, Duckville here. Welcome to game 2 of our awesome Australian player Moonglade here. We've got on Metalopolis again. I hope you guys joined me for game 1, and we did see some fantastic Terran versus Zerg there from Moonglade and Polt. Make sure you go check it out if you haven't already watched it. We got, as we can see, Moonglade here at the 8 o'clock expansion on Metalopolis. Once again, this is one of my favorite maps because it is very macro orientated, and that is how I roll. But he is going to be facing again one of the very famous Korean players in the SC2 scene. We have oGsTOP, one of the players from the OGS team, which features some really great players. And so it is going to be another Terran versus Zerg here, but as we can see, we're probably going to expect some really high quality play from game 1. Some of the things we took out of that one was just some really great map control by Moonglade. Obviously a signature of the very good Zerg players is map control, and some very good strategic control from Moonglade. He actually did really well despite some, there was a tiny bit of early pressure from PoltPrime, and then later on there was some added pressure as well, but Moonglade did really well in fending all of that off. So hopefully we'll see some more great plays here from these two. We've got oGsTOP going for his racks here at the ramp. He's probably going to use a very heavy wall with the factory, I think, because he did get his refinery. He's got that going up pretty quickly, and the supply depot is over here at the minerals. It's not actually on the wall, so I am going to expect a factory just coming up on here for oGsTOP. So he's going to just make sure he's very heavily secured against any possible baneling busts, that sort of thing. But as you can see here, Moonglade's just gone for the early expansion. He's gone for a 14 expansion along with a 14 spawning pool, I believe that was. So very traditional play from Zergs nowadays is to actually get that 14-14 going. So we'll see him get a nice economy from the early expansion, and then very much get some Zerglings out as well to make sure he has map presence just like last game. But we got the orbital command here from Top is all done. Moonglade's going to gas steal again. He did this in the last game as well against PoltPrime, just denying a bit of gas income for the Terran player, which is obviously very significant, especially seeing as we can see. Top has actually gone for the factory at the ramp, just like I thought. I am on the money today. But he's going to cancel and then rebuild here. One of the very annoying things about Zerg stealing your gas is if the actual extractor gets close to dying, which I'm not even sure why he cancelled and rebuilt. I think actually it was getting close to being built. He just wanted to keep the extractor going here. He doesn't necessarily want it to finish off, and Moonglade's just going to keep it from building. No, he does actually get it up. So this extractor is now at half health, given this one Marine is just standing there with his rifle doing the whole Sparta thing, and he's just going to take that down probably in 10 minutes or so once he's done with it. But we'll see Moonglade just making sure that he's keeping on top of what's happening over in top space. Interesting to see. Moonglade actually did this in the previous game as well. He sent out his first two overlords. Obviously, the one going down to the 6 o'clock position here, scouts that there's nothing here, then sends it straight up here. He actually did this with his first two overlords in the last game as well. Just making sure this is a very just a very nice little tactic to have up your sleeve if you're obviously playing Zerg, is to just make sure you're putting your overlords in some very good spots to make sure you can actually see what is happening or what is coming out of your opponent's base. A lot of the time you actually want to see what they're actually doing. What have we got here from Top? He's actually got his second command center is done, and he just says, you know, what the hell, I'm just going to build another one. So he's actually got a second command center here, third command center building right away. Did Moonglade see it? No, he didn't. He might need to sack an overlord to try and get in there. It looks as if he is going to use one to get in and see what's happening. Here it comes. You can see the shadow, and there is the overlord coming in here to spot what is happening here. He can see these two command centers going down, and so he's going to be well aware of that going down here in top space, going for a very, very risky eco build here at the start. I actually like it. You know what? I actually like it because I'm a very heavy eco fan. But we're going to see what Moonglade does about this, given that the Overlord's gotten across. He's seen that there's a heavy wall at the ramp. So normally a standard sort of response perhaps would be to get out a to get out some banelings and actually just come across and try and bust through, because you would expect that your Terran opponent actually has very limited defensive forces up. But given that the heavy wall is here and the heavy wall was spotted by Moonglade, he's not actually going to do that, I presume. We can't actually see any banelings. He's going to get a spire up though, so we'll see that coming through shortly. But probably the next standard response, given that I'm not a total genius on Zerg, but the next standard response I would assume would be to actually take a whole bunch of your own expansions. So Top is actually keeping an eye on what's happening here at this base, but normally I would have expected Moonglade just to say, you know what, to hell with you and your 2 command centers, I'm going to take, another 2 bases myself, but hasn't actually done anything about it just yet. I predict he will actually do something shortly, but we'll see what happens. We've got, Top has actually moved out to his natural here. He's got the command center down, the orbital command, sorry, and a bunker and a Rax just defending this side here. We've got 3 siege tanks in a fantastic position. They're actually behind the wall of the command center and the bunker, but they are still in range to stop any units from coming across here. You would normally see something like perhaps a Zergling runs, or perhaps some banelings coming across to try and head in there and stop these SCVs from mining, but with these 4 tanks now, he's definitely not going to get any intelligence or any harass in there at all, but we'll see what happens. Moonglade, once again, doing a good job keeping an eye on what is happening around the map. He's got Zerglings checking out what's going on. As we can see, he knows this command center does need to go somewhere if it's going to be put to good use, but as he has seen so far, there is nothing here at the 5 o'clock, and there is nothing here at the 1 o'clock expansion, so we'll have to see, or 12 o'clock, sorry, we'll have to see what happens here. He's probably going to try and just make sure he knows where this command center is going. But for the moment, oGsTOP is actually using this command center to, as we just saw fly by the screen here, we're getting some extra mules out, given the extra energy from the 3 command centers. Not to mention he's actually doing really well in the harvester count. As we can see here, we've got 52 to 44. Normally it's not really that sort of balance in terms of the harvester count, but as we can see with the 3 command centers, Top's doing a good job. He does get a turret up. There is 1 turret up just in time to actually stop these mutalisks, but they're going to wander around and try and take off some SCV counts, but there are just so many command centers. I'm not even sure if there's a real point to doing that, but we'll see what happens. Moonglade's obviously, just as in the previous game, he's just trying to keep on top of what's happening in his opponent's base. You might want to stop that turret. There you go, bam, he gets the turret. And while this is happening, Moonglade has actually taken this 10, 11 o'clock expansion, and he is gearing up. Is he going to take another one? I'm not sure. He's just losing a bit on these queens here, but he has put down a Roach Warren and an Evolution Chamber. So we may see some kind of perhaps a Roach attack by Moonglade just to try and actually push in here, but it'll be very hard to do. Perhaps a Nidus Worm might help. We'll see what happens. A Thor comes out to actually stop these mutalisks finally, but the problem here is Top has actually, I'm very surprised to see this, Top has actually forgotten to put a turret down here at the natural expansion, so the mutalisks get some free kills at that expansion. We've got one of the mutalisks with 5 kills, we've got another with 1 and another with 3, and a couple more with several kills. So doing a great job there. Harassing is Moonglade from Australia, but we'll see him take another expansion over here as well. He's now got this 4th just about up and running, and it looks as if oGsTOP is actually going to move out here. He's going to try and, looks as if he's going, he's going for this gold expansion. He's going to try and move the tanks across here to make sure the ground is covered, and then he's going to use these Thors to secure the air. And if he can actually get this gold up and running, this would be a very, very big win for oGsTOP. In terms of economy, I don't necessarily mean he'll win from taking the gold, but you know what I mean. He'll just keep on top of economy and actually probably just massively outsmash Moonglade in the economy stakes, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully Moonglade can actually get some units out and actually go for an attack. He's got the +1 for ranged units, and also the Carapace is upgrading as well, so he's getting roach speed as well. I think we are probably going to see some sort of attack on this gold expansion with a lot of roaches, just to make sure he can penetrate all of these tanks. But we'll see what happens. But as we can see, Moonglade actually has the two Zelnaga towers. He's got both of them. In fact, how has he kept this one up the top? I am not sure. But here we go. We actually do have an attack coming in from Moonglade. He's got these. We have a very roach-centered attack force here with a few Zerglings as well. We're going to see these guys come in here and try and take out this gold expansion. He's just waiting for a couple more roaches to come through, and then he's going to push in. Here we go. The tank's in a line, a beautiful line there from oGsTOP. Actually trying to take out as many of the units as he can, but there are just so many roaches, and the roaches just clean up all of the tanks there with their huge 16 damage, and they're going to come in and clean up these Thors as well. The Mutalisks are also doing a very heavy damage here on the SCVs, and it looks as if that might even be it, given that all the top has are these couple of Thors and some tanks coming across, and we have a massive total of 29 roaches in here for Moonglade. He has done a great job of just macroing up some units and coming in with an attack. So this is one of the very heavy risks of doing this very extreme eco build from top. He's given this a shot. It was definitely worth a shot, but it just was not possible against a very an awesome Zerg player here. But it looks as if Moonglade's got control here. He's going to take out this one of the final tanks. There's only one tank left. The SCVs are coming across to try and do what they can, but as we can see, they just get eaten alive by those roaches, and that is that. That was a very reasonably quick game there from these two fantastic players, and we just saw a very daring, I would say, eco build from oGsTOP, grabbing those two early command centers. Definitely viable in some of the lower leagues, but against a fantastic player like Moonglade that is has a very low chance of working. But once again, great map presence from Moonglade, just keeping his overlords around, keeping some Zerglings around, so he knew exactly where this command center was going to land, the third command center, and just sweeping in with a whole bunch of roaches to take it out. So fantastic play by Moonglade. If you would like to leave any comments, if you want to see something else, if you want to see some other players, please let me know and leave some feedback, and make sure you subscribe, and we will have some more videos being uploaded over the next few days. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.